I am Diana, Princess of Themyscira.
The Prince. Diana Prince.
Welcome to the Real Screen Team. I'm Andrew Thomas. I'm here with my partner in crime, Christopher Johnson.
Hello, everyone.
And we have a special guest today. And what's your name?
Hi, I'm Nick Morris, local writer.
Well, and we're continuing doing the Snyder Cut. And we're doing the Wonder Woman review. And we felt we need a female perspective on this.
Yeah.
I agree. Very wise choice.
What was your first reaction when you first saw them?
The first time I saw Wonder Woman was like just joy. Like, I love her optimism. I love her hope. I love just that whole movie was about love. And that just grasped me. And I'm so close to Diana, I feel, just spiritually. Like, we're very, very similar, very optimistic, very naive sometimes. So I love Diana.
Yeah, we saw it in the theaters, and we were pleasantly surprised because of the last couple of movies we saw were kind of optimistic about it.
Yeah.
Well, a bit more
that we've already discussed already.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, this felt like a long time coming. You know, Wonder Woman needed a film like years ago.
Yeah.
You know, so it was definitely a good thing. Should I go into a bit of the overview of things? Okay. Wonder Woman is a 2017 superhero film based on the DC Comics character of the same name. The film was produced by DC Films and distributed by Warner Brothers Pictures. It's the fourth installment in the DC Extended Universe. The film was directed by Patty Jenkins and written by Alan Henberg, Zack Snyder, and Jason
How you say it?
Jason
Fuchs.
Jason Fuchs. The film stars Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman, and it was actually her second time playing the role. Should I go into the synopsis?
Yeah, even though they're pretty it's a pretty specific synopsis, but you can still go over.
Okay. Diana Themyscira, an Amazon warrior who is also the demigoddess daughter of the god Zeus, uses her talents and abilities in order to help humanity during World War I and defeat the god of war Ares, the originator of the conflict.
Should we discuss about the characters? Or
yes, by all means.
Starting with Wonder Woman herself, and Nikki, you should start us off.
Okay, so as I already stated, I adore Diana for her optimism. Like I said, she resonates so deeply with me because we're very similar. So just having a warrioress on screen in her own film with a female director is iconic. It's groundbreaking and it is historic. And I feel like that needs to be celebrated all the time. Like, never forget. Can I say something about Steve? Because I love Chris Pine.
We'll get to that.
Okay.
Yeah, we usually get our perspectives on the characters by person.
Sorry.
I loved Gal Gadot in this role. She perfectly encapsulated what Diana and Wonder Woman is as a character. Like I said in Batman v Superman, I wasn't too sure because she wasn't on my radar as far as a well-known actor. And also, I was maybe one of the few people that felt that she was maybe a little too petite to play an Amazon warrior, but she blew me away.
Yep.
She proved it and then some.
Yeah.
And fully on board. She, in my opinion, is one of the better things just in the DCEU.
Yep. I agree. When I first saw her in Batman v Superman, I would have mixed, but I did like her interaction with Ben Affleck's Batman. And then once I got to know her more in this movie, I felt like she did fit the role that she was meant for after watching it.
I love how Gal Gadot brought just the tenderness and sweetness to Diana that you see in the comics and you can sometimes see in the animated stories. But she brought this live action just full of love and tenderness and caring, and it just hits you that's Diana every time you watch her. Like, there's no competing with it. She's perfect in this role.
We should get the Steve Trevor thing now.
Yeah. Why is it always with either of these World Wars we have a guy named Steve?
To be honest, I'm tired of seeing Steve Trevor. I love Chris Pine with a passion, always have. I'm just tired of seeing him around. Give her a new love interest. I mean, I know he's been in the comics forever. He's iconic too. But, like, stop telling the same story of Diana and Steve over and over and over again. It's getting tired.
Yeah. But I think with showing, bringing Wonder Woman into our world,
it makes sense. Yeah, it makes sense for him to have been there.
Yeah.
But I'm also foreshadowing a little bit about her follow-up film as well.
Oof.
Yes. So that's what I'm saying.
Controversy.
Bringing him into this role for this movie, yes, I see it, I get it, even though I'm tired of seeing him in this love story play out 1,000 times, I understand.
Yep. I actually did like Chris Pine's performance as Steve Trevor.
Yeah.
Although I still haven't seen the sequel yet, so I've already got. I know people kind of spoil with some of the stuff that's happened, but I'm going to see what. I'm still going to see the rest to see how it all plays out there. And it was the first role I've seen him since Star Trek. Chris Pine. He was always Captain Kirk to me. With the
Same
Star
here.
Trek. Yeah, until the Wonder Woman movie.
Well, that
he was
Princess
always
Diaries.
Prince. I was always going to say he was always a prince in Princess Diaries to me. I mean, he wasn't a prince, but wasn't he?
He was basically playing Captain Kirk in World War I, basically.
Basically, yes.
I'm a spy!
I adore Etta Candy.
Oh, yeah.
I love Lucy Davis. She's like a bottle of bubbly. Just in this role and Sabrina, and I feel like in her everyday life, she's just like
she was also
a bottle of Sprite. Like, you know what I mean? She's just fresh and bubbly. She tickles your tongue. She makes me happy.
Yeah, she was really good. I recently saw her earlier role in Shaun of the Dead. Didn't realize it was her because she looked so different then. But but she did a good job playing like the comic relief in most of it.
And I like the fact of with Etta, she's a lady, but she did also warn that she can throw hands.
I hit on that point in my review. Was I love the fact that there was this one point, like the street brawl, where Steve steps in and is like, "I got this," and then Diana's like, "I got this," and then Etta Candy, she was like, "Hold it right there at the end of the street." Like, she can hold her own too. I love her.
Should we talk about the entourage or the Amazonian?
Go into a bit of the Amazonians.
Okay.
My God, Robin Wright.
Yes. Queen, even though she wasn't.
I mean, playing a general. You know, for the longest time, she always seemed like the girl that needed a guy to help her out. Whether she was Gen A,
she was always the damsel in distress.
Yeah, whether she's Gen A or Princess Buttercup.
Yep.
But nah, she got this, Wesley. She got this for us.
Yeah.
Bang!
Yeah.
Can we talk about the fighting scenes with the Amazons, though?
Yeah, those were all.
Dynamic. Oh my God. I just love seeing women warriors just fighting and battling and just taking down the bad guys.
Take that, German soldiers.
Oh my
Which
goodness.
they desperately were German soldiers. Yep. So, they were really interesting. Yeah, the villains were interesting too. But let's go more into the Amazonians and the entourage of Steve Trevor's. They're really good too.
Chief.
I do have to admit, I liked Hippolyta, but there were also moments where I'm like, stop holding this girl
That's
back.
what I wrote as well.
Stop it.
I was so livid. I mean, I loved Hippolyta. She's queen. She's everything. She's strong. Amazing. Just dignified. But Diana is incredible, and she's a princess. And obviously, she's being groomed to take over one day. So let her live. Let her grow.
Yeah.
Let her be the warrior she's supposed to be instead of holding her back because you are scared. It
let
irritated me.
alone on fact, she's got this.
Exactly.
She's a freaking demigod.
Exactly.
I mean, near invulnerability, semi-immortality, and a super healing factor. I think she's got this.
Don't be a smother, Hippolyta.
Even though Connie Nelson did a good job.
Yeah.
She did.
But yes, let's go into Steve's friends.
Yep.
Samir. Love that dude.
I do.
Dude was fantastic. You know, very witty. You definitely saw the camaraderie and friendship that he had with Steve and Diana. Charlie.
Yep.
That rough Scottish sharpshooter.
Yep. Who drank a lot.
Yeah. And you saw that he had his moments of being, you know, haunted by the things that he's had to do as
I was going
a
to touch on
marksman.
that too. Yeah.
But you also saw his tender moments. And I feel like the Chief was cool, but we didn't really get to know too much about him.
He was kind of like the Winston.
He was a strong, silent type.
Yeah, that, and he was a smuggler.
Yeah.
And he's kind of figured out his role in the world, you know, after things that happen in North America. Somehow he finds himself in Europe, and, you know, he's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
There was this quote that I wrote down, speaking of Chief, where Diana asks him, "Who took that from your people?" And then he looks over at Steve and says, "His people." And I don't know, I found that moment so poignant. Just those two lines with such severity, with such history behind it. I adored it. And like Savannah, Diana doesn't know about the world she's missed. She doesn't know about all the atrocities humanity has gone through in the Amazon's absence. And I love that he just said that so simply. And like in that moment, she kind of grasped, I mean, not fully obviously, but kind of grasped what America has gone through, what the world's been through in the Amazon's absence. And then right from that moment, Charlie has a moment where he's waking up from a nightmare brought on by PTSD. And it's just one beat after the other of just heavy facts and heavy just realities of the world that Diana and her naivete and her hopefulness has never experienced before.
Like with Samir. I mean, he wanted to be an actor.
Yeah.
But because of things that are going on, he had to become a soldier. You know?
Although he does some of his acting and some of that.
Well, hey, he's a spy too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. And should we get to the villains?
yes.
Aries. Okay.
Well,
We should get to like the area.
before we get to the
Before
big
we get
bad,
to the big bad,
let's
get to the red
let's
herring.
get to the little ones. Yes.
yes, like Eric Ludendorff.
Played by Danny Houston. The red herring.
Such a perfect red herring. Like you see him, you're like, that's a bad guy.
I mean, how many of his own people within the German army did he kill? Just to prove a point?
I was just about to say, just to prove a point.
It's like, you dare question me and my methods? No! I don't care how things are going and the armistice
shot him or just gassed him at one point too.
Yep.
The armistice has no hold on me. I will win this war no matter what.
Love of his superpower. His high superpowers.
Yeah, what even, he was just go.
I am so ready.
It was like a little bit of Bane in there, a little bit of her.
It almost reminds me of that meme with the German soldiers in which they were eating chocolate with meth in it. Chocolate!
Yep.
But, of course, he couldn't do this all by himself. He needed the help from Dr. Isabel Marou, a.k.a. Dr. Poison. And I'm actually glad they chose one of the deep cut villains for Wonder Woman, because Dr. Poison was one of the early villains that Wonder Woman had to deal with. And one of the biggest things about Dr. Poison was the fact that she was a woman.
Yep.
Back in the comics.
Yeah.
She had to disguise herself as a man in the comics. And then it was like, a woman? What? She's a doctor? She's able to do these incredible schemes? My God.
She's amazing.
Yep. She might have a soft spot for Ludi.
She might have what?
A soft spot, or if so to say, for Ludi.
Ludendorff.
Yeah.
I think she did.
You
I
could
feel
tell.
that, yeah, she had a little thing.
Yep.
I mean, despite the fact of all of her work left her with like a fourth of her face gone.
Yep.
Poor lady. But love a good villain.
And now we should get to the actual Ares.
Ah, yes, the big
Hiding
bad.
in disguise.
Hyde is one of the allies.
I love it. Just hidden in plain sight.
I actually did like the way that they showed his abilities.
Yeah.
And the fact of he was very cunning. I guess you didn't necessarily need to get too much characterization for him.
You didn't need it.
Yeah, it was kind of, it was there.
Yeah.
You knew the backstory.
Yep.
You knew why he's doing this.
Yep.
We just need the conflict.
Yep.
He thinks he's putting humanity out of their misery by just letting them kill each other.
And he's another type of fallen angel where he's like, yeah, Zeus, this wasn't a good idea. You really shouldn't have done this. Let me go take care of this. Let me go take care. What? Hey, I'm just saying you made a problem here, and I'm trying to solve. I will get my revenge.
He's like, how am I the bad guy?
Yep.
Because he's a bad guy.
Yep. And
Duh.
David Duell's performance is really good.
Yes.
Like I said, it was just amazing. Never suspected it because obviously he's Remus Lupin. He'd never be the villain. He'd never be Ares trying to kill everybody. But that's what happened. I love it.
Yep. He was playing dumb through most of his thing. Yep.
And with bringing up, disguises and things, trying to see Diana try to be inconspicuous in London was hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
Major fish out of water. I mean, she has only her mission on her mind, and yet she's not used to how things are in that area.
Mm-hmm. Yep, along with her Clark Kenting it with the glasses.
She said, "Oh yeah, that's gonna hide her. Just some glasses."
Yeah, some glasses and a hat.
And Candy was like, "Yeah, that's a disguise."
Yeah. Pay no attention to the attractive woman that has a freaking sword
coming out of her dress.
Or just her walking out of a building with a sword and a shield.
True.
Like, But yes, Ares being Sir Patrick.
Yeah.
I mean, it was definitely surprising, but also not surprising.
Yep.
But it was interesting on how he seemed like such a warm ally and then just turned into this absolute monster villain.
Yep.
Just was really good.
Can I speak for a moment about the fact that when Diana was in that war room and everybody in the war room was deciding the fate of the soldiers on the front line, ready to sacrifice them for their goal, and then Diana was like, how can you? How can you do that to people? Are you out there? Are you fighting? Then why are you sacrificing them? And I love that she called them out on that because so often that happens in battle. And like for a real warrior, she didn't let that happen. She was out there. She crossed no man's land.
Yeah,
Like,
something that not a lot of people were able to do in that war.
Yep.
That whole war was mostly trench warfare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not only did she cross it, but she was able to lead a battalion behind her. She inspired others to cross no man's land.
And saved a whole freaking town.
A whole village.
Though it's a daggone shame what happened to them later.
Yeah.
Ludendorff.
Yep.
Freaking Ludendorff. One thing that I know that we've needed to talk about and we keep forgetting with all these reviews is the music.
By Hans Zimmer.
I love
God.
Hans Zimmer.
In my opinion, the best thing he did with this whole freaking extended universe is the theme song for Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
My God.
Just gets you pumped.
Yes.
It's just amazing.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah. Starting with Batman v Superman with that.
Exactly. When she comes in and you just get hype and you're like, who's coming? And you see her emerge and it's like there's no just that heart palpitation you get with that music. It's genius.
You know things, it's on.
Yeah.
It's on.
Yeah. But we do like the score.
Yeah.
Well, we usually do scores up to 10. They're like the best out of 10.
Yes.
Basically.
Yeah. So, well, hey,
And if
why not ladies first?
Yep.
Okay. This film. Wait. So, are we rating it just on the DC scale, or what are we doing?
As a movie itself,
Yeah.
at a 10.
Yeah.
Okay. So the movie itself is definitely a 9 out of 10, and my idea for its place in the DCEU is definitely 10 out of 10.
Yeah. I will give it a also a 9 out of 10 because I agree it's a lot better than the other DC EU movies that come before it on that, and it gives a lot of credit, and also kind of brought DCU more attention than it originally had, more positive attention than it had.
It definitely saved the DCEU.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
And I guess, hat trick. 9 out of 10. I mean, truly, this movie set the bar of what all these movies need to continue to follow.
I agree.
And it was just fun. You know, you got your moments of, the Snyder dark and dreadful and everything, but you also got light and color, especially on Themyscira.
Yes. Just that bright atmosphere.
Yes.
Just gorgeous. You can tell, like, with that bright atmosphere in the opening, you know that this is going to be a different film than the rest of the DCEU, where they're just dark and brooding.
Yes. And you got a very nice balance of that.
Yes, very, very much. It's a great balance of, like, character development and action as well. I feel like that was just perfectly balanced. Like, for the people who are like, I'm just here for the movie to see the fight scenes. Those people were satisfied. And the people who were like, I just want to see love. They were satisfied. It's just perfect.
I want a story that follows what I know these characters are
and
about.
That's why it was perfect for me, because I know the characters. It satisfied me as a nerd. Is that what you guys agree with as my fellow nerds?
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
And if you all seem to agree, just don't forget to watch the Back 14. Find us on YouTube, The Real Screen Team. Find us on Facebook, The Real Screen Team. Subscribe. Definitely subscribe. And comment on our videos. We need more of that. And,
yes.
Yep. And if any of you guys are from here and you want to guess for perspective or just state your case, just let us know.
Yeah. I mean, hey, we're starting to create a bit of a following, and I know some people that are equally as knowledgeable about these things as us, so hey,
or maybe more.
It's
That's why
nice to have additional perspectives.
Yep. And before we go, our next one's going to be the theatrical cut of Justice League.
Ooh.
Oh, God, no.
And yes, we've already seen it. As you can tell from Chris's thing, you're going to...
We're all waiting for the Snyder Cut.
Yes, please. God, yes. Please.
Please redeem it.
And since you're our guest, you want to roll us out? Yeah, you know how.
I don't know how, but let's do this. Okay. Give us all likes, follows, subscribes on our social media. Look up my book Mystic on Amazon. First episode is out right now, so mote it be. We have Justice League coming up. We have more Wonder Woman coming up. And then we have future reviews to come. So, please stay tuned. Please like, follow, and subscribe. And we'll see you later.
Let's fade to black.